Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. Can you believe another week has gone by? Holy cow, where does the time fly? I'm telling you, whether you're sitting in a house or sitting in a van or sitting on a patio, time flies. Let me show you where I'm coming at you from tonight. That's a live shot right there. So that's a backward view. Kind of cool. Got my really awesome setup. Really appreciate you for joining us tonight. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the van, Class B, RV lifestyle, the camper van experience. It's so different than the big guy sitting right across from me. Hopefully he's watching. I don't know what's up. We got a fun show for you tonight. It's really all about your questions. This is what the show is all about tonight. Let me give you an indication of what's coming up. So we have, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of my new philosophy on some of my van tours. That would be a camper van shopping toolkit, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I got kind of a cool camper van tip. Now, for you homemakers, you're going to be like, this is not news. But for some people in RV, it may have been something you didn't think about. So we want to talk about that van tip. Libation Live, we're going a little early on that tonight. And I got a cool song for you that reminds me of my own hometown in Chicago. Libation Live, as I mentioned, this is a local wine. This is a Cabernet, so you wine lovers, we're ditching the beer and the distilled spirits tonight. This is San Sebastian from St. Augustine, Florida. So we'll be hitting that tonight. And as I indicated, this is all about your questions. So if you're new to the program or new watching this program on the replay, please type in new in caps so I can give you a special shout out. And for you regulars, thanks for joining me for another What's Up Wednesday. It's going to be a fun show for you tonight. Here are some topics, and I'll zoom in for you to kind of get the juices flowing on what kind of topics might be on your mind. I've got some of these on my mind because I am now on today's Wednesday, I'm on day 9 of full-time on the road again, which is just the most spectacular feeling. So if any of these subjects you have questions about, maybe got some trips coming up. Spring is springing out of the north. I would love to help you answer some of these questions because that's what we're about on What's Up Wednesday, right? Where am I coming at you from? This is one of the great places on earth, St. Augustine, Florida. I'm here for 2 days. I'm at KOA because I've got some business in Jacksonville, some brand Volta duties on Friday, and this has kind of fit my schedule. Really pricey KOA, but really nice. And unfortunately, I get to see nothing in St. Augustine probably this time. But look at this. This is the visitor's guide. Oh, let me get that off the screen. Hold on. So you guys can see this. This is a visitor's guide done well. The cover is the map of the town. Now, is that cool? So I'm curious. My question for you is how many of you have been to St. Augustine? And if you haven't been to St. Augustine, what is holding you back? This is just the most amazing place. That big citadel there in the bottom of the screen, the middle of the screen, is the Castillo di San Marcos. It was kind of built in like 1670s, and it's made from like shell bricks. And this is America's oldest city, St. Augustine. Spanish run at the time, which is kind of interesting. And it's just, I'm so bummed I can't spend a whole lot of time because I'm leaving out of Jacksonville up into Georgia right after that. As I indicated, it's warm out. It's 82 degrees here, so pretty warm. And the country's, here I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see this. The country's warming up, which is pretty amazing. I'm so tired of the heat. So tired of the heat. It looks like it's still kind of cool in the upper northern of the country and in Canada, our friends to the north. And I'm always curious where you're watching from. And if you're watching from a different country, be sure and call that out because we like to put a flag on the map and identify you specifically by country. Truly a global program all around the globe. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Africa. That's a continent, by the way, not a country. But that'd be so cool to have, like, I don't know, Nigeria in the house. Wouldn't that be awesome? So call me out. In your comments here, we're going to say hi to some folks now, in fact. So let's do that. And then we'll get into our topic of the night in case you're chasing the thumbnail or the topic. So a lot of friendly faces in the house tonight, starting with the very first person in the lobby was Ron, upstate New York. I can't wait to get upstate New York. Joplin, Missouri's in the house. Hey, Dave, what's up? Good to see you. Donna in sunny Arizona. Probably hot there too, right? Jane and Roger in Chicagoland. Thanks for joining. Ron's got a question. It's more of a comment. Watching from Bandelier National Monument in New Mexico via Starlink. Now, is that cool? I saw that the Waylands are kind of RV lifestyle. Mike and Jennifer are kind of test driving that. So I'd be curious if it's working well for you, Ron. Hit me up on an email. Go small, live large at gmail.com, and maybe have you come on the show and kind of give us your experience if you'd be up for that. Denham's in the house in Georgia. Can't wait to get to Savannah in just a few days. I love Savannah. Beaver Creek's in the house. Here's Terry. Tin Can Carl. I love that. That's cool. In Paradise, Florida. Paradise spelled kind of funny, huh? That's cool. Okay, Deborah's got a question. Let's see where we at on here real quick. Bear with me for 1 second. Let me hang on the question there, Deborah, on your question. So let me get through a couple more items here really fast. So again, let us know where you're watching from. I'm finally getting organized. Now with about a week and a half under my belt, I'm full-time on my program here, and it's really paying off in spades. And YouTube videos you're going to see coming up. We're going to have one tomorrow. We're going to premiere the, whoops, you guys can't see that. There we go. Let me start back over. My cool screen transition. So YouTube videos coming up. You're going to see a video tomorrow posted on a camper van shopping toolkit. I've been working on this for quite a while. I think that's our topic for the night. I think you're going to like it. And that's followed by Friday. We're going to do premiere at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Nova 20C. Nick at Sunshine State RVs gives us a very thorough walkthrough on that really awesome coach. I just love it. It's probably one of my favorite coaches other than my Travado. So that's what we have coming up there. And of course, we have stickers for sale. We're working on new stickers in addition to what we have already. So stay tuned for that. Go to my website to get the information there. And we have a survey that has 2 new questions for you tonight coming up as well. So you don't want to miss that. Hey, if you're having a great day, give a thumb up. And just glad to have you here. Isn't she adorable? I love her. Okay, let's take that off screen. Let's answer the question quick for Deborah, and then we will get on to our content for the evening. And there we go. Okay, Deborah wants to know, what is the best feature on your rig besides Volta, the thing you like least and would change? Congrats on 3 years, Scott. Yeah, 3 years since February 2019, full-time in my van. Even at home base, I stay in the van. If you've done a remodeling project, you would want to have your van because living in a construction zone is no fun at all. Excuse me. So best thing on my rig, certainly Volta is at the top of the list. For me, it's floor plan, and in the floor plan, it's the table, a permanent table which extends almost to the entire width of the van. To me, that is the most unsung hero in the van, is the full-size table. The thing I like the least, I did correct, which was the ground clearance. The ground clearance I could affect by lifting it by off-highway vans in Salt Lake City. Spent $3,000 to do it. Got 3 inches out of it, and the confidence is way off the charts on lifting the van from curbs, deep, ditches. What do you call them? Curbs. Obstacles in the roadway. I know Jane and Roger lifted theirs. They probably would give me a thumb up on that too, right? If I could change it without having to rip everything out, I would put more insulation in my van. It has really lousy insulation. I know Winnebago's doing it much better now, and the adventure vans, like a Storyteller Overland, for example, has really superb, and Embassy RV for that matter, really superb insulation. My van does not. If you didn't see my Instagram post, I did a thermal temperature on my van exterior skin, one on the door that was exposed in the sun, one under the shade in the awning. It was a 30-degree difference, and without much insulation, let me tell you, that transfers right through into the interior. So that's what I would change if I could. But the thing I second least liked was the distance. Great question. Hey, look at this. Tin Can Carl says, my Pico chair arrived today. Thanks for helping me spend my money, Scott. Yeah, hopefully you love it. I love mine. In fact, I should be sitting in it now. I'm at the campground chair. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about, we got a lot of friends in the house tonight. Esther's in the house. Rich is in the house. Greg Johnson. How's the window screens business, sir? I bet you're busy. Here's a good question. Then we'll jump in. I don't want to be too late past our time point. So Ranger Horse has got a great question here. How's gas prices affecting van life? Not much, I'll be honest. I'm actually working on a video about that very topic. It'll probably release in the next 2 weeks or so. What I'm trying to do is show the delta between $4 gasoline and $2 gasoline. Is it going to curb the way I'm doing things and why? No. Probably not. Now, the big Class A guy right here across from me at diesel at $5 a gallon, they have a probably 100-gallon tank, I'm guessing. That kind of takes your breath away. But for van people, that's one of the reasons I think vans are going to stay popular is because I get, 15 to 20 miles a gallon, typically 15 to 18 miles a gallon on the highway and around 12, 15 in the city. I drive slow. I'm always the slowest guy, so I'm trying to maximize my fuel economy. But it's personally not affecting the way I'm going to roll. And those in vans that I've talked to, it's not really affecting their plans. Some people are pulling back. Maybe they're not doing that cross-country thing because in some places it's way more expensive, like California. I'm guessing Illinois, New York, some of those big states. I did speak with somebody in Texas, and Texas gasoline prices are the same here in Florida, which is about $4.10 for regular and about $5.10 for diesel. So that was a little surprising to me, but not affecting me at all. Somebody's starting a campfire. I love campfires. I almost made one for my Mexican barbecue thing. Anyway, all right, let's talk about our topic tonight and see if you guys can help me validate if you think this is cool. We'll look for the comments below, but let me kind of explain what we're doing here. Camper van shopping kit, toolkit. What I'm trying to do is put some different thinking and some tools, a worksheet in particular, in your head because, let me zoom in here for you. The problem is van tours are not realistic. And to further that point, I don't do van reviews, although people call them that. I do van tours. Matt's RV reviews, he's in the RV business. He does reviews. Remember the old Ultra Mobility guy? He did reviews, kind of comparisons and all the gallons and all the watts. And because how I'm accessing vans is on an active RV dealer lot, and I cannot roll in. I don't know what they have, and blah blah blah. So they're just not, for my taste, a review. It's a tour of a floor plan as if you're buying a house, and you're going to go to an open house with a realtor kind of standing off to the side, and you're just getting a feel of the floor plan. You don't care what the BTUs of the AC is. You don't care how many gallons in the swimming pool. You're just kind of getting a feel for the floor plan. So to me, that's a tour. The problem is tours are not realistic. Why is that? Because you don't really get a sense of how effective that floor plan can be for you. So I am going to try something different. I'm actually putting real items in the van when I do these van tours based on livability, workability, and likability. Scott, what are you talking about? This is making no sense to me at all. So let me give you just a cue on what I'm talking about, and I think you will. Sorry, I'm looking on my screen. See what I'm talking about here. Come on. And my thing is transitioning. Come on. Hang tight. Don't you like it when it freezes? Okay, here we go. Oh my God. Please hold. Use the arrow key. So what am I talking about? Let me zoom in here for you. Thanks for your patience there. Okay. So the Tranquility, we know, is an adventure van, right? It's on the shorter of the the Sprinter chassis, and it's an adventure van, right? So what I'm trying to convey here with what kind of items go in the van is, if you look at the image on the right, that is the refrigerator from the opening side door, and then there's a cutaway of the fridge door open. And what I'm doing is placing specific items in the fridge. In this case, it's a dozen eggs and a 12-pack of beer. And I was like stunned that a 12-pack of beer took up at least 50% of the fridge space. Let me continue. Hopefully I get this to work. This is the Nova. The Nova is on the ProMaster chassis. That's the fridge on the right. And that is just the bottom half of that fridge, not the freezer, just the bottom half of that fridge itself. You can put a case of canned beer plus some in the bottom of that refrigerator. To me, that is stunning. I would never have made the connection if I hadn't done this test. That's what I'm talking about. One more step. Now, this is my fridge. So I can put a case of beer, or I can put a 12-pack of beer on the top shelf. But if I put in two, I'm really consuming about 50% of that fridge. And there's my dozen eggs on the middle shelf. So the point being here is putting in real life items such as, let me get this off screen. Again, a 12-pack of beer. How much space would this take up in the actual fridge? The eggs. How much space And in the Tranquility, it would really only fit sideways. It wouldn't fit in long ways. Plates. This is a 10-inch plate. Can I set the table for 2 people to eat dinner at the same time in the same space without being on opposite ends? So that's what I'm talking about here, is a toolkit that includes scoring mechanism. So around the Scott score. We're going to have very specific items. I'm going to score them on every van. And it's my basis because it's those things that are important to me. Let me show you this. So we're going to have a Scott score. So going forward on these vans that we do, we're not going to do them for everyone, but we're going to do them on some vans. Assuming I can get, it takes a lot of time to do these videos. It is not a 20-minute pass through, and that's why tours are kind of not realistic. It's the bathroom, it's the kitchen, it's the bed, it's, and next, right? This is really intentional thinking from ground clearance all the way to how much beer can I put in the fridge. I'm really excited about this because the 2 I already have teed up, it was drastically different outcome than I expected. But what's key to this is not my criteria. The key to this is what is your criteria. So I built a worksheet for you so you can put the criteria in for you on the topics that are important to you. Maybe maybe it's Diet Coke. Maybe you don't want anything in your fridge. Maybe you want to load the thing up with something else. Maybe storage is super important to you. I use my coffee pot as an example. So we're going to provide you with a tool, a worksheet. The video tomorrow night is going to explain all this. So this will be way easier for you to understand. And what it's going to do is give you a shopping toolkit if you're shopping for vans to help you think through carefully whether or not that van really meets your needs. I'm really excited for your feedback on this. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I sprung it on somebody at van camp at my home base, and I think it's going to help a lot of folks kind of demystify and sharpen what is their priorities. Why do you want to RV? What are your priorities? And then how do those real day items fit in the cupboard? And I was stunned at the Tranquility and how it really didn't perform very well versus the Nova 20C performed really well. So we'll probably do one of these a month, and hopefully I will get access to these vans because I need access quiet for a couple hours. And so I'm hoping the RV dealer is going to help me out here because I'm really excited about this. And the first one you're going to see is next week. The premiere of the toolkit is tomorrow. You're going to see the Nova, kind of a traditional, very thorough walkthrough with Naked Sunshine State RVs on Friday night, and then you'll see the first of these, I think, next week. So I'm very excited about that. Let me know if you think that's a good idea, a crappy idea, or I'm just trying to do something different. Everybody else is kind of doing the same thing. I just want to do something a little different, see if I can help you make decisions. So, all right, so that's what we got going. Let's answer some questions. Let's see. We've got Salty Medic is in the house tonight. Yeah, he's saying St. Augustine's is a very cool town. There's so much history. Let's see. Looking for a question. I thought I saw one. Yes. This is a good question here. So Sharon wants to know what level of gas do you use, regular or premium? In the van, I use regular, just crummy old plain 86 octane. Is that what it is? It doesn't require anything, to my knowledge, anything more than that. My Mercedes AMG sports car requires pure premium. That's pretty expensive. I'm not driving that around. So I just use regular, and usually it's Costco usually has the lowest price, sometimes hard to find. Walmart gas stations, sometimes the bigger like Racetrack or Wawa have the least expensive gas in town. Use an app called Gas Buddy if you're really serious about it. Is when I show you the differences, I'll show some, or when I do the gas video, you'll see that by just running a quick test around your area, you can find there's a pretty drastic difference in gas prices just within a few blocks, even across an intersection. It's stunning to me. So Robin's got a question here. I know you are a Volta guy, but you're the van guy. So should I change my generator oil? So when should I change my generator oil? It's got 130 hours on it. I bought my Travato used with 78 hours on the generator. I'm glad to be known for the van guy, Robin. I really appreciate that. I am not your generator guy. I have no clue. Maybe somebody can help us here. I know they need exercising. It's probably in the manual. I hate to send you there, but if somebody can help us with this that has a generator in their van, that would really, really help me with Robin's question. I'm looking off screen here just to see what's up because I unfortunately don't have a good answer for it, and I don't want to misspeak. All right, we got Steve in the house. Hey, if you enjoyed that and are excited about the camper van shopping toolkit, give me a thumb up. I really would appreciate that. Like this guy, he's kind of a cool cat, right? um, looking for a couple of questions here. We got Kim in the house. Good to see you. That is Fort Worth Kim. Apache Junction. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I just love that area of the country. So cool. Mesa Mike's area too. 91 degrees in Scottsdale. Wow, it's hot. I'm telling you, the world is warming. I don't care what your political bent is on this, but just that seems really warm for me. In maybe not. I don't know. It's April. It's always hot in Florida. So Denham's got a question here. Protective paint film versus ceramic coatings or wrap. Good question. I think what you're referring to, so I have a wrap on my van. Obviously, it's a silver van. Hard to believe that, right? Now, coming up on 2 years next month, this thing has performed admirably. I can't really tell if it's faded at all. From what I can tell from around the door jambs, I can't tell there's a big color difference. But I did not go for the ceramic coating. When I had the wrap installed, they gave me that option, and it's like $1,000 more. I was already spending $5,000 on it, so I was like, eh. He said, well, things would not stick to it at all. Him being the wrap guy, Chuck at CRD Wraps. So I elected not to do the ceramic wrap, and stuff doesn't stick to it. The bugs literally almost wipe off. Literally, that was the thing that was hardest to get off the van, was bugs, and they just literally wipe off. I rarely use soap on the van. Paint protective film, I'm not an expert on that. I really don't know much about it. So maybe somebody can help us out. You guys are asking good questions tonight. I don't want to misspeak or just kind of say something when I don't really know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can appreciate that. So paint protective film, if somebody can help us with that. I think it's a thin film of almost kind of plasticky on the front for rock chips and stuff like that. I think that's what you're talking about. I can tell you rock chips, from what I can tell from the front, have not, with rare exception, I'm trying to think, there's probably 3 spots where rock chips have penetrated the wrap, but it is really amazing. Okay, we're going to do our van tip here in just a couple minutes. So it looks like Jane's got a question here. Thank you, Jane, for your question. Are you going to travel through Northern Illinois again this summer? Yes, absolutely. I need to be in Holland, Michigan in early August, so I might backtrack a little bit. My plan is to go up the East Coast into really Maine, Vermont, and then cross into Canada, and then do Toronto's first and Montreal, Quebec, and then come down into Niagara Falls and Buffalo, New York, and then kind of swing through. I guess it would be Michigan, but I kind of want to get Chicago done and then backtrack. Holland's not that far away from Chicago, so we are, and we'll be planning some vanburys and some roundups and things like that. So, hey Terry, good to see you. He's in Nashville, one of the great towns. Big marathon coming up there in a couple weeks. I will not be running that, by the way. Jane says yes. I love your off-highway van lift. It's just such a confidence builder, right? Jack's got a good question here. Jack is a great guy. Met him at the Tampa Super Show. He kind of likes the spirits a little bit too, which is awesome. Really swell guy. Great question here, Jack. You may have answered already, but how do you wash your van? Do you carry a brush? Does your Cowboy wrap require wax? Watching from the mountains of Elij, Georgia. Good questions. How do you wash your wrap? Or how do you wash your wrap? So I do have a brush. So there's a special brush made for RVs. It's really soft. Telescoping. It probably goes up like, I don't know. I can get to the top of the van and still have, room to go. So I'd highly recommend that. It's on my website. You can check it out there. It clicks off to Amazon. Walmart is where I found it. I would highly recommend that. I'm on my 3rd one. Because because I forget them. It's typically what I had to do. So I would recommend that a lot. I used to use soap in a bucket. I don't anymore because the wrap, it just rinses off really, really easily. Does the Cowboy wrap require wax? No. I could put the ceramic coating on again. I could bring it back to CRD Wraps in Wellington, Florida, and have them apply it, but I'm probably not going to do it. It's just at this point, it's $1,000 I can spend somewhere else. And it stays pretty clean. I have not washed my van in probably, I'm looking at it right now, I'm going to guess 3 weeks. She could use a bath for sure. It's a great question. So again, we just love to get your questions in. Let me show you this, and we'll do our van tip. This just kind of jog your brain on some things. And if that is of use, we just love to answer your questions. So here, Taurus View 9's got a comment. I wondered why he looks so familiar to me until I saw Bill Weir on CNN today. I don't know who Bill Weir is. Is he a handsome devil like me? That would be kind of awesome, right? Yeah, I'm not sure who he is. I still don't watch TV news. Speaking of TV, one of you commented last week, PBS, I just love PBS, because of the documentary type stuff. Ken Burns in particular, just amazing guy. Civil War, World War II, country music. Now he's doing a 4-part thing on Benjamin Franklin. What a stud that guy was. Oh my God. He kind of made America before we even were America. It was really pretty amazing. He's on episode 1, was on released this Monday, right? The 4th. My problem is I get in bed and I start watching, I fall asleep. So I have to watch the same episode about 5 times to see the full thing because I've been putting in so many extra hours. So yeah, if you're into history and rolling into the East Coast up north, Civil War is huge, Revolutionary War, and Ben Franklin, one of my heroes. Read a number of his books. I love his virtues, right? He's got these 16 virtues, and he was like the least likely guy to succeed. And he just was a genius in so many rights. Let's see. Let me get to our okay, we'll do our survey says, and then let's do our van tip. I think you're going to like the van tip. Again, some of these, it's the obvious ones that always kind of surprise me. Okay, survey says. Let me zoom in here for you. That's Richard Dawson for anybody under 40 years old. He had one of the famous game shows, Family Feud, which is still going, by the way. So these are our survey questions for in the last since last Wednesday. This has had over 300 votes now. Question is, for a trip in your camper van, would you rather already have everything you need in the van, or pack for the trip, emptying out the van afterwards? I'm kind of not surprised by this, because I think people, if you have your vans, you're more readily to be using them versus these giant rigs that are kind of surrounded with. And that kind of goes to our tip of the week here in just a second. The next question is, thinking about a nice dinner with a glass of wine, would you rather make a meal and eat in your van, grill your dinner and eat outdoors, or go out for dinner to taste the local flavors? And I'm not so surprised about this. It's certainly weather dependent for the first two, right? But I think you're missing out a little bit if you're not sampling the local flavors. That's my opinion. It's getting really expensive to eat out, especially if you want to have a cocktail or two. Oh my gosh. Kyle and me, when we went to home base before I left, we had two Mexican dinners, nothing special, burritos or whatever, 2 margaritas. It was $85. I just like, we shared one, so we had 3 margaritas. We shared the last one. So I actually have these on my website now. So if you want to go to my website, you can click up, I think, on the front page and see these. We've got a running total now, and I think it's kind of fun to see people's answers on this. So that's the survey says with Richard Dawson. So I've been working on my website a lot. So if you haven't been there lately, go smalllivelarge.com. There's a ton of content you won't see on YouTube, and making it more organized. You're going to see just a lot more effort there to help you be a better RVer, places to go, where to go for Wi-Fi, just all kinds of things. And if you're not following me on the Instagram, you want to do that because you will see videos there that you probably won't see on YouTube. YouTube does these shorts. Instagram does reels. I did both on the van skin temperature. I like the way Instagram does it better than YouTube. It gets all my metrics goofed up on YouTube, so I don't know. Okay, was this our tip of the week? I think, bear with me 1 second. I just love this new setup. It's so awesome. Okay, van tip. Let me scroll forward just a tad and give you a van tip. We're 4 minutes late. You guys having fun, ladies and gentlemen? I just love What's Up Wednesday. It's so much fun. Oh, you can see my aquarium in the back. The sharks are swimming. Okay, so let me give you the van tip. You ready for this? Again, you homemakers, you're gonna be like, duh. But so here's the van tip. Here's how we roll on this. It's a quick tip to help you in your van. So let me zoom in here for you. So what I was talking about, what does this look like to you? Who doesn't like Parmesan cheese? Oh my goodness. Parmesan cheese, one of my favorites. Has to be in every pantry, right? Hopefully the fresh stuff. Don't you want to have a bite of this? Oh my God, Parmesan goes on everything, right? Scrambled eggs and Parmesan. If you get tired of salsa, try that. Here's my van tip. Because Parmesan, I can't eat it fast enough, it goes bad, right? It gets moldy within just a couple weeks, even in the fridge. So what I am doing and what I recommend for you is repackage it because number one, it takes a ton of space and those big round things, right? And this works really well for Costco because you get a big giant jar for like $10. The little tiny ones are like 5. Repackage it, squeeze all the air out, and then put it in the freezer. And then when you put it on some food, you take it out of the freezer, you sprinkle it on your stuff, like your clam sauce and Zitra, and you from Spaghetti Factory, and you put it back in the freezer, and it lasts a long time. No mold. This is what you're looking at there on the screen. Sorry, is this is probably about this at home base. This is probably a month old, and no mold. So that is my hot tip for you. Store Parmesan cheese in particular. I'm not sure about regular cheese. I do seem to go through that. But store it in your freezer and it lasts way longer. And that way it's one less thing to pack and buy and throw out when you come back from a trip because you have stored it in your freezer. I wonder if that's new news to anybody. Oh, I just felt a sprinkle. Oh my gosh, please. Okay, we're going to do Libation Live here in just a minute or two. So I'm excited about that. Looking for some. So Kim's talking about gas prices. So $3.49 for gas at Costco. That's pretty good buy, right? I probably say about 50 cents. I'm guessing. Costco just the best place for a lot of things. Here's Agnes saying $4.44 in Illinois today. Yeah, I paid about $4.15 in Florida, mid Florida. Hey, Mike's in the house tonight. He's our resident artist. He's hope you're recovering well from your treatment, sir, and you're seeing crystal clear. Roads of Life. He's in the Houston area. So here's a question. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny you say this because it's actually one of the videos we have coming up, so I know this pretty precisely. So Travel Dreamer wants to know, can you please add a measurement of the actual doorway that is not blocked by the build and measure the aisleway inside the van? Well, I can measure what I have, and it's about 24 inches by about 18 inches. So from the threshold inside the van to the end of the corner of the galley, kitchen galley, that's 18 inches, and it's 24 inches wide. I have the jump seat, which I love my jump seat in my Travado 59G floor plan. I would have to measure, maybe if Mason Mike or somebody is in the house that has the newer floor plan without the jump seat, knows that measurement off the top of your head. But I got a cool product coming up for you, a product video that measures that specifically. So Tara's saying, hey, if you come back with the beer and eggs, you'll have all the space in the world. Just kidding. Yeah, it's funny. I used to store my boxed wine in there, and I'm like, I can drink cold wine, room temp wine. You put ice in it, right? But the full beer, no way. I like my libations. What can I say? Speaking of, let's do that. So Libation Live, we're doing a 35 after tonight, and let's see if I can spin that up. It's right after our store your cheese in the freezer. So again, this is Libation Live. And again, if you're kind of new to the program, the reason this came about, a little bit like Traveling Robert, I love to watch his live streams because he's always drinking a beer, right? Local beer, even more importantly. He's a huge IPA guy. I am not a big fan of the IPA, but I thought it was a cool idea. So now I've not been to this winery yet, but this is San Sebastian Winery. Here's a couple cool tips. I'm going to pour the wine. So I've already opened this because that'd be a bit of a hassle. So everybody get your libation out or get your lemonade. I can actually do this outside. The last couple I've done in like parking lots, so I'm breaking the law, breaking the law. But cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. Really appreciate that. Hmm. And you'll be surprised I'm drinking. Those of you that know me, I'm drinking Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm using a big red wine drinker, and the cabs in particular are really heavy to my palate, really chewy. This one is really light. It's really delightful. It's a little spicy. I almost venture to say it's kind of a cross between a Merlot and a Zinfandel. Some people will not agree with me there. But look at some of these statistics here of this winery. It's pretty staggering. Um, Founded in 1983, they have capacity to store 40,000 gallons of wine on site. It's the second largest winery in Florida. Never even heard of them. They have 500 acres of vineyards under their control. It's housed in a building that was built by Henry Flagler. He is one of the patriarchs of Florida, in a building that he constructed back in 1923 in St. Augustine. On the third floor of that building, they have a wine and jazz bar. Wouldn't that be cool to go visit? And if you get to go there, you'd be one of 160,000 visitors they welcome annually, which is pretty amazing. I'm so bummed I can't stay. Maybe I'll try to hit them up tomorrow. There's a distillery in town, but I got a giant day tomorrow and a giant day Friday. Sorry, something was tickling my ankle. I sprayed with off, so far so good in the bugs. But cheers. This is really actually pretty good. You might be asking yourself, how, Scott, did you find this if you didn't go to the winery? The KOA here sells local wines. It was about 20 bucks. If you get a chance, I would recommend this. Go to their website, sansebastianwinery.com, and you can see what they have to offer. Man, wine and jazz and food in the bar on the third floor. It looked really appetizing from their website. Okay. Got song of the week. We'll look for a few more questions. Let's see. Oh, Steve, this is so funny. So this is kind of an interesting point. So let's. So Ron's kind of validating here. Appreciate that shopping toolkit sounds like a good concept. Again, yeah, just helping people think through real life items that they want to camp with. Now, for someone going out for a weekend, that's very different than somebody that's in their van all the time like me. So I'm the weirdo in the group for sure. The lights are getting a little strong on me, apologize. Denham's got a comment question here. A toolkit, great idea, but what would the dealership say if you brought those items with you or an RV show? It'd be really hard in an RV show. So I'm kind of lucky because I get a little behind the scenes through my Volta brand duties, training the dealer, sales staff, and the walkthrough service staff. So I build up a little bit of a relationship, tell them what I'm doing. I point it back to them. As an example was the video we just released of a really nice walkthrough of a beautiful van. I didn't use the toolkit here, but at North Trail RV. So they kind of left me alone. But if I just rolled into an RV park or to an RV dealer and said, hey, let me do a video, here's all my stuff, they'd be like, what the heck are you doing? No. So I build a little rapport, so I get a little bit of an edge, and I can spend the time, and so far so good. We'll see if we can continue doing it. And the idea is not to pick on anything. It's just to help you more readily visualize, will this fit in the fridge and on the table, two of them, right? 10-inch plate. And if this kind of stuff is important to you, bring your toolkit. And if you're a customer and they're chasing you away, that is not a good sign, in my opinion. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. But I appreciate your concern there. Again, yeah. So Steve's got a good point here. This is kind of funny. Eggs versus liquid eggs in a carton. Egg beaters. Yeah, there's something for me, Steve, about just breaking an egg. And I chuckled when I saw your question because to get this thing emptied, I actually had like 6 eggs left. So I broke all the eggs into a baggie and then put them into the fridge. And I just didn't like the way it looked. Number one, I was worried about leaking. Number two, and I'm actually gotten really good at cooking an egg, almost kind of soft boiled. So it's not really over easy, but so liquid eggs, yeah, you'd have to do scrambled all the time. Good question. Selena here is going like, can't wait for Scott scores, especially on the 20 Nova 20C. I love comparison of it with Pleasure Way Ontour 2.0. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think you're all going to like it. I was shocked. Really shocked at the I don't want to pick on vans, at the tranquility and how not well thought out it was, even for a weekender. Stuff, if I didn't actually have my coffee pot with me, it never would have dawned on me just going through, hey, here's the Galley, here's the propane stuff. So you'll see it all, but I'm really excited. Oh, thank you, Ron. Ron is saying change your generator oil every 100 hours. There's probably a meter on there, I'm guessing. So you'll want to do that for sure. Yeah, Steve's got a point here. So he's got a 59G as he's got the newer style. But what's nice about the Nova 20C is it has the Nova Cool fridge that has the freezer drawer, like the Embassy RVs. And what you can do is you can control the temperature in the fridge and the freezer differently. So you can have fridge, 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 freezer, fridge, fridge, fridge off in the freezer compartment if you want to store big bulky items like potato chips and paper towels, what have you. So I wish I had that. That would be so cool. I couldn't believe it. You put a case of beer in cans at the bottom of that fridge, you still have room for stuff. I was floored. I would never have known that unless I did the trick, which is the whole point. Use the toolkit. Okay, let's do this. So we are just about our song of the week. So Dave here is talking about the generator. Change it now for yourself for 20 bucks, and again every 100 hours. Very easy to do yourself. Talk about generator oil changes. When I need to change the oil in the van, I take it to like a Valvoline where you get a stay in your van. They're all done. They change the wipers. I mean, I'm pretty lazy. I just got better things to do than like making videos for y'all and doing fun things like planning the next meetup roundup. I'm actively doing that. I'm hoping to have some news on that. So we're going up the East Coast. I'm looking for some really cool ideas. I would love if you have land or know anybody has some land that we can use for a camp out, a vanbaree, as I call them. That would be so awesome. We might have to do like a campground, like a KOA. We've done that before. That works pretty well too. But I would love to do it. Good question or good point. Uh-oh. Let's see. So Agnes here says, good idea to show standard items for size. However, one of your tours and overall van features and styles maybe decided on a certain van. That was down to a lot of measuring and envisioning. And that's a key word, thank you, Agnes, is envisioning. When you're really getting close to pulling the trigger and you got your 3 short ones, if your dealer doesn't let you kind of take the van out for an hour, go to a deli, get some sandwiches, eat in the van at the table. Don't use the restroom, but kind of do everything else. Set up the bed, lay down in it. And if they're not letting you do that, I would question whether that's a really quality dealer you should be working with, because it takes, I think, a step further beyond envisioning and actually doing. And that's what this is about. So find your 5 things that are really important to you. You know, coffee maker, your dog kennel, your cat box, which is kind of hard to haul around. But you start looking at garage storage in these rigs, and we are lucky with our Travato floor plan, our 59G. We have ginormous amounts of garage storage, and you would not know that if you had not, envisioned or actually placed that cat box in your space or your grill. In my case, it's a great point. Yeah, Travel Dreamer saying toolkit will create a standard that will allow other individuals to compare vans better. I hope so, and I'm going to score mine on my criteria. That's going to be the Scott score. Then you develop your own criteria based on kind of the model, if you will, and then you rate these vans on your own. So great points there. You guys are good points here. Look for questions. So if you're reading the chat, a lot of comments on the generators. I just love how we do this. I'm kind of in the driver's seat here, but I love how you all chat amongst yourselves. That's the whole point of this, is bring us together. This is a community. We got 92 people here tonight. This is just so amazing. Let's hear it to everybody, right? I still love What's Up Wednesdays. John's saying the video quality is not up to par. Sorry about that. I thought I had a pretty good signal. We're on Verizon here, so the campground Wi-Fi not great. So I'm on Verizon. Let me just double check that. Yes. So sorry about that. Hopefully it comes and goes. Okay, so let's shift gears. So Frank and Sharon are saying the van's on the production line, getting close. That is always super exciting. They're getting an Embassy RV, which is just awesome. And hey, Miami, Florida. Do you guys survive spring break down there? I saw the Miami Beach. They did curfews down there, just craziness. Arkansas Tracy in Miami, Florida. That's so great. Robin saying she didn't like the I assume it's a she, Robin. IPAs either. This is interesting. A huge wine festival in Wilcox, Arizona in May. The Cattle Rest RV Park is calling your name. You may be right, sir. I don't want to drive to Arizona and then back up to Holland, Michigan, though, but we'll see. Um, so Stone Chaser here has got a little bit of a idea. So if you use a small handheld vacuum sealer, your cheese won't mold. A lot of Parmesan freshly grated, so chunks saved in a vacuum bag are the way to go for me. And again, that's kind of the way we roll here. We learn together, we share. You decide what's best for you. That seems to me to be a little more work than I'm willing to put out, but putting it in a baggie in the freezer, I can do that. So thank you, Stone Chewer, for that. All right, let's talk about Song of the Week. I just love these. I discovered country music in my van experience, and I am so into country music these days, but I'm not sure what kind of genre you want to call this. Maybe you can help me out. So our Song of the Week is this. I will zoom in for you to see this. I love this song. It's Lakeshore Drive. That's literally the name of the song by that trio, Aolada, Haynes, and Jeremiah. Last names, I'm assuming. If you haven't heard Lakeshore Drive, it's all about literally driving Lakeshore Drive and the feeling you get. And if you haven't ever driven Lakeshore Drive, you are missing out. It is one of the great urban drives, one of the best ever that I've ever experienced in all my miles, even before van. And if you ever get to Chicago and have not done a drive on Lakeshore Drive, my recommendation would be early in the morning, like on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, early Sunday, like Sunday's probably the best. Um, Drive it both ways, north and south, because you got very different views. The lake is on one side, the city's on the other. Go to the end, spin around, come back the same way. You'll see things very differently. Do the same thing at night. Fairly late, so the traffic's gone, so probably 10 p.m. Do the same thing. It's a vastly different. Do a weekday, because all the custodial teams are in the high rises cleaning. And again, go north or south and turn around and do on the way back, and you will just be astounded at how cool that trip is. Lakeshore Drive, one of the great, I don't know, is it a folk song, Americana song? And let me know if you've driven Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, which I guess they're trying to rename to Baptiste, Jean Baptiste. He's the guy that kind of founded Chicago, right? Christian missionary, if I got my history right. So I think it's going to be Jean Baptiste Lakeshore Drive. Nice to see the history come back, but I think for all of us, it's going to be the Sears Tower and Lakeshore Drive, right? So all you Illinoisans are going like, yep. Okay, looking for a few more questions. Again, here's some ideas. All this is top of mind to me right now because I'm on the road again full time, and all this is. Let me tell you, I am working overtime for y'all. I recorded a video today. It's going to blow your mind on buying land. Yeah, a lot of RVers are buying land and stopping RVing or modifying their travel. So let's look for some questions here. And yeah, getting out in life. Cabernets are good with red meats. I prefer them when paired properly. Totally agree with you. White wine and red meat just don't go as well together. Whiskey, bourbon, and red meat, pretty good. Table red is preferable when drinking without food. That's kind of what I would actually qualify or say this would be it's like a table red. Very drinkable. It's not acidic. It's not sour. It's very delightful actually. Very light. Table red is what how would I qualify or classify that? And I did grill some meat, Italian sausage. So that's what I'm having after the show tonight. How many people have made pizza in their van or in their grill? We're gonna do that tomorrow night. We're gonna do a pizza grill video for y'all. Okay, so Simply Sonora. Hi, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Hey Scott and everyone, do you think the cost of RVs are dropping? Did you see Matt's RV review where he showed 21 RV with price drops? I have not seen that video, and I do actually think you'll see these come down. I think the what was the Fed chairman's irrational exuberance, I think is over. Why? Number one, there's a lot of vans on dealer lots. Now, I'm just speaking about vans because that's what I focus on. Um, I saw in the RV news, there's RV news and RV Pro news that I subscribe to. There was a probably one of the largest, if not the largest, dealer chains in the country. Their initials are CW and their logo's blue. They canceled like 10,000 orders. Um, that's a big chunk. And what the news story was talking about was almost three. It was like 2 to 3% of all the backlog that is on the books for all the builders. That just evaporated overnight. So, when the supply and demand, I mean, the market's a miraculous thing, right? We're so lucky to live in a free economy where the market dictates. And I think if inventory is sitting around and back orders are being canceled by dealers to the manufacturers, all of a sudden prices start to come down, right? Even used prices, I would expect to come down. Vans, I think, is going to be slightly different. I think the euphoria around the adventure van, I think that's going to peak out because I think it's a guess. I think that is a fad, but I think vans in general, and some adventure vans for sure, vans like the Travado are touring coaches, miniature motorhomes, fully featured. I think that is going to be here for a while. And if chassis don't go crazy on pricing, I think everything's going to kind of come back down to earth. We saw some crazy MSRPs at the Super Show, over 200 grand for some of those adventure vans. The now as I roam around the dealers, they're showing like in the 160s, 170s. So that's already happening. So yeah, I would agree with you. That is, I think, coming down. So I love Matt's RVs. Didn't they grab him in person at the Super Show? I love his prime pooping position. So important, right? Todd wants to know, Chewy, talking about the wine. Just heavy. It's really jammy. Is that helping any better? Not really. Let me pour some. Now we can actually see the wine. We can actually see the light working, right? See how you can almost see through it. Well, it's kind of hard for you guys to see it. Sorry, but most Cabernets you cannot get light through it. This one you can. I can get light through it. Pretty nice. So Myron wants to know, what basic tools do you recommend for your RV? Assuming you're talking about toolkit for fixing a problem, like screwdrivers versus shopping tools. I would say if you are carry the basics, so pliers, wire cutters, screwdrivers, both types. Get a hex wrench set. What do I have? A hammer. Get some safety things, a vest, some LED flares. I am not one with a giant toolkit. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime, but caulk, adhesive, those are things that I do use on a somewhat regular basis. I did a fun thing that's been a couple months ago, went around with a Phillips screwdriver because most of the screws on the exterior of the van are Phillips. I went around and I tightened up all of the screws. I was kind of surprised how loose some of them were. So maybe we'll do a video on that. I'll have to write that down. Toolkit, for Fix-It Toolkit. It's a good idea. Now, some folks like, we're the Russos and Keep Your Daydream. I'm sure they got bigger rigs, KYD for sure. They probably got really elaborate tools. I don't have an air compressor. I just don't roll like that. So I think just basic stuff. If you go buy one of those $50 kits, which is what I did at Walmart, it's got everything I need and then some, straps and stuff like that. But have a cell phone with the emergency number, right? Let's see. Tars View 9 has a question. Do you know if the Winnebago Solus 59PX pop top will be retrofitted, removing the generator and replacing with lithium batteries and inverter? Any idea of cost? I am not in the know on that. I think the lighting is affecting the video quality, so I apologize. I'm not familiar with that. Now, one thing folks do readily is replace Agm batteries with lithium, like a Battleborn. So you get some of the benefits of lithium. They weigh less, they charge and hold a charge, and then discharge more fully than an AGM. Like an AGM, you only get about 50%, is my understanding. They got to charge it back up. Lithium, you go all the way down to like 10%, and then run it back up to 100. But I'm not sure of swapping out generators for lithium systems. Maybe somebody has the know on that. I am not an expert on that. My neighbor. Um, Yeah, Tin Can Carl's got a good question here. You took events off your website. How do we know when you have a meetup or a Vanbury coming? It's still on there. It's on the main page. It's in a tile, not in the navigation. So what I'm really trying to focus on is content around three specific areas. And I think I mentioned this last week. And this crowd's always in the know. 100 people in here. This is so great. Thank you. Sorry if the lighting is not awesome. It's just nice to be outside, though. I gotta tell you, it's really pleasant right now. He recommended that I split my channel into three topics, and I'm like, I just can't imagine that. So we're going to really focus on van tours, the ones we've been doing in this new toolkit type. Place to take your van. I need to really ramp up my effort on that, and then products for your camper van, and events are important, but they kind of get put off to the side. So now there's a tile, Tin Can Carl on the front page. It still clicks to the back page. And I'm hoping to do a roundup in Savannah area or someplace up a little bit northern in Georgia. I love doing those. I love meeting y'all. But the events take a tremendous amount of time, and I just want to focus really on those other three subjects in a meaningful way. So that's what we're going to do there. So still there. I don't have anything scheduled yet, but I would expect to in the next week as we roll up north. All right. Good question. Thank you for that. I'm searching for some questions. Oh, yeah. So, this is cool. See, I love this stuff. Timothy is saying, thank you for this. The winery and distillery in St. Augustine used to swap bourbon and port barrels, and each made their own port bourbon port. Oh, now I really got to stop there tomorrow. That is amazing. I got to try that out. I've got to try that out. So Denim Rue renting is so expensive. So doing some of the research for the Tonight Show, the Tranquility van is renting on Outdoorsy for $250 a night, FYI. That was someplace, I can't remember the actual location. I'm sure it's very location and date dependent, but $250 a night, you can rent a Tranquility, give it a test run. Donna's saying Toolkit is brilliant. Yeah, I think so too. We'll see. Oh, Kathy's so right here. Lakeshore Drive on an autumn day, golden leaves swirling. What a great memory. Yeah, Lakeshore Drive is just one of the most spectacular drives in the country. Yeah, Selena's, Scott, can you do a video on van rentals and rental websites? Yeah, I'll write that down too. That's a good idea. It's kind of a van product, I guess, right? Oh, here come the bugs. So van rental. Maybe I can get somebody to let me actually rent a van for no charge to point them back some customers. Love that. Tuxedo, he's in the van. I'm surprised we don't see him in the window. He's just the craziest cat. He's so great. He's walking really nicely. Thank you, Mike, for asking. He's doing really well on his leash. So thank you. He's really enjoying this. He's wishing he could run loose and free, which I would love him to do, but we just can't. All right, we're just about the top of the hour. Let me see. Sparks Guy's got a question here, and just a couple more questions, and then we will. So what do you think of this outside thing? It's really affecting the video quality because of the graininess on the. But it's so nice to be outside. It's really pleasant. So Sparks Guy has a question. Any challenge with boondocking or with booking harvest host sites? How far out are you booking? Yeah, it's kind of hard. I would use the tool, the app, select the dates. The really popular areas around urban areas, they're booked out anywhere from 2 to 3 or 4 weeks or more. Some people have taken. I think what was happening is they were getting so filled every night, it was becoming like an RV park. So I see some places just are not making their place available at all for months. So you click through, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 months in advance. There's nothing. So it shows me that they've taken their place off. Still posting, but they're not taking any reservations. They've kind of taken it off. So if you are looking to use Harvest Host or Boondockers Welcome, Plan in advance because it is full. It is really really full out there, and that's just Harvest Host and Boondocker Welcome. Even the KOAs are really hard to kind of get in. Now vans we can scoot around, so if I'm staying for 3 or 4 days. Um, I can move around every night. That's okay by me, but a little bit of a headache for them. But I'm staying at the Savannah KOA next week for about 5 days. I got a boatload more of video to get done that we're kind of turning loose and get my route plan put together for the up the coast we go. So, good question. Okay. See, I'll talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, Linda, we just talked about that. And we did that demo, and we're actually cutting portions of some of these What's Up Wednesdays and reposting them in a shorter video, like 20 minutes versus this 1 hour. Um, but if you're a harvest host, get the package and get planning because it's really well used. Stuncher got a great question here. We are going to round this out here in another couple minutes. So how often do you have to repair something non-auto related, seat, table, furniture, and how often do you have to deal with auto mechanical issues? I've been so lucky. Great question. With my Travato, it's a Ram ProMaster. I am about 100 miles shy of 90,000 miles. She has performed so admirably as a Ram van, and as a Winnebago Travato build out, that too has been really exceptional. Man, I can't think. I changed a water pump in the van for the toilet and the shower. Little tiny leaks, like the shower leak in the wall. There's been some funny little things like that, but so few. Um, um, Furniture, nothing changed. She's just been bulletproof really since it started to rain almost. Um, I picked it. I took delivery early October, um, 2018. So we've had this van for a while, and it's just performed admirably. Living in it, flushing the toilet, open the fridge. The fridge is probably my NovaCool has been running 24/7 for almost 3.5 years. Um, it's been down. It turned off for about maybe 20 days when I was overseas. It's just amazing. Okay, winding down. Let's see, Roads of Life. So it says pricing vans. Notice Travados can run between 100 and 200 grand. Not sure if dealers giving discounts though. Do you think prices will come down? I do. I do. I think there's just some euphoria and irrational exuberance because chassis haven't doubled and all the components haven't doubled. It's just a supply and demand. So. So maybe our last question. This is a good question here. And biggest worry, Pablo wants to know the Class B or holding tank sizes. How do you do it? Showers, etc. Depends on how you want to roll. So I have 10, 11, and 12 gallon black and gray tanks, 18 on fresh water. I carry onboard fresh to augment that 18, using the 18 on board to flush and wash hands. If I have access to Platinum Fitnesses, that's where I go shower, typically, something like that. Campgrounds, even here at KOA tonight. Or do laundry and things like that. But you just learn how to maximize those tank capacities. I go about 5 to 7 days on a black tank. That's what fills first because I use my toilet for number 2 and everything. Now, if I'm at a bar, something like that, I use the urinals there. But my black always fills first, gray unless I am taking showers. I can get about 3, maybe 4 showers on a black tank or on a gray tank. I shower my van probably once, twice a week. But if I know where I'm going to be to empty my tanks, and I do that more readily just to clean everything, it's just really, really nice. So you just kind of get ebb and flow. And depending on how you want to use your restroom facilities and wash dishes carefully, that's how you do it. It's a good question. All right. So everybody have fun tonight. I just had a great time. One more question. Let's see. This is maybe a new name. So let's see. I'm not sure I say it. Melina Lee, do you recommend any specific small fan for sleeping in your RV? I do have a USB fan that I found at Walmart, plug in above my bed. It hangs off my my little wire basket there. That just moves air around. I find that makes a giant difference. I actually wouldn't recommend it. It's pretty noisy. It only has one speed, on or off. I need to find a better one that's more quiet. It makes a lot of noise. All right, folks. So with that, we will say thank you for joining us for another What's Up Wednesday. Just thank each and every one of you for being out there and driving me forward. Hope and put out better content to help us all be better RVers, and for all of you sharing with the group tonight. Just so important on the generator and oil changes and all the stuff shared tonight, and even with our wine. Everybody's looking at me now. It's kind of funny. So all right, we'll say goodbye for now. We'll see you on the small screen. 2 videos, one tomorrow night, one Friday night, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Until we see you soon, wish you to journey on. Have fun, and we'll see you.